It doesn't look special at all, but it built everything around you. Cement is one of the most important materials in the modern world. It's in the roads we drive on, the buildings we work in, and the cities we live in. In fact, concrete, which is made using cement, is the most widely used man-made material on Earth. But cement itself? It's just a fine gray powder. So how does something so simple become the foundation of our entire built environment? Because making cement isn't simple at all. So how exactly is cement made? In this series, we break down how industrial products are made. We explain the processes, technology, and engineering behind them. Welcome to Explained. So let's start at the very beginning. The process begins in a quarry. This is where the raw materials for cement are extracted from the earth. The primary ingredient in cement is limestone, a sedimentary rock rich in calcium carbonate. This chemical compound is essential for the reactions that happen later in the process. Alongside limestone, materials like clay or shale are also extracted. These provide silica, aluminum, and iron, all critical components of cement. To extract these materials, large sections of rock are blasted using controlled explosives. The blasts break the rock into manageable pieces that can be transported. Heavy machinery then carries the material to the processing plant. At this point, it is still just rock. To turn it into cement, the material has to be crushed smaller and smaller until it becomes a fine powder called raw meal. And this is where the process becomes much more intense. The powder is sent into a massive rotating kiln, a long steel cylinder, slightly tilted, slowly turning, and heated to extreme temperatures. Inside, the heat reaches around 1,450 degrees Celsius. That is hot enough to completely transform the material at a chemical level. As the raw meal moves through the kiln, the limestone begins to break apart. Carbon dioxide is released, and what remains reacts with minerals from the clay and shale. By the time it leaves the kiln, it is no longer a powder. It becomes clinker, small, dark, rock-like nodules that look almost like burnt marbles. But clinker still is not the final product. It has to be ground down one last time into an extremely fine gray powder. During this step, a small amount of gypsum is added. Gypsum controls how fast cement hardens when water is added. Without it, cement would set almost instantly, making it almost impossible to use on a construction site. And that final powder is cement. So cement may look like ordinary gray dust, but it is actually the result of crushed stone, extreme heat, chemical transformation, and precision engineering. A simple powder, quietly holding up roads, bridges, buildings, and entire cities.